Hello, 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 Sagittarians. I'm going to turn this way so my eyeball doesn't have that light. I think it's actually need to move it. There we go. Sorry, I didn't quite have that. All right. So welcome. How are you doing? My name is Patty. I'm here to do your reading for August 9th through the 15th. We're already at the middle of the end of summer, guys. Crazy, crazy. You ready? Are you ready? You know what? I haven't even seen the new moon. I don't know when it is. It's been crazy. I like the full moon readings better, but I will check into that because it might be this week actually that I'm doing this reading for. So if you want that one, let me know again, please. So let's get started. Let's just get down and get dirty and get started. Hope you guys are doing good. So I'm going to pull 3 oracles for brand new people. These oracles are going to be sort of the theme if you're not familiar with tarot. This first one is, I do a little different. So a lot of tarot readers will do past, present, future. I do, okay, it's the bottom one. I do divine, present, and future. So divine has a card because you know what? This is divine guided, divine driven. We are driven by energies that we cannot explain. The universe, God, the Holy Spirit, however you want to put it. And everybody has the ability to hear messages from the Holy Spirit and our intuition from the Holy Spirit. It's just learning how to open that door. So this is the message. Maybe you're on the fence. Maybe you're struggling with something. Maybe you have a question to the universe or God. I say, you know, God is the universe. A lot of people don't know that. God is the universe. So, you know, reaching out to the unseen realm, you know, that dimension that we cannot touch, feel, see, hear. I mean, we can hear it, but we can't touch it. So this is that's your card. For you personally, whenever you're watching tarot, you're watching for a reason. So this is hopefully going to resonate with you because he's trying to talk to you. There is ways that you can learn how to hear his voice if you are not familiar with that. Wow. Okay. Oh my God, he's funny. He is funny. I'll tell you why in a second. So, and then we'll go into the tarot. I'm being a little bit weird today, so I don't know. We've been planning on this trip, and air flights are really crazy, and then we find out that American Air, being a travel agent in the day, we find out lots of things ahead, but it's like American Airlines is just dropping flights all over the place, and it's not really their fault because there is a pilot shortage, because I used to fly small planes, and when I started flying, they said, get your pilot's license, get those flying areas times in, because it goes by. If you want to be a commercial pilot, you got to have 4,500 hours of flying, because about 2 to 3 years, they were going to be having a lot of retirement. Because when you hit a certain age, you have to retire as a pilot. There's just no ands, ifs, or buts. So it hit. And that's why there's a pilot shortage. So, and the industry along with the pandemic, not easy for the air flights. So if you see your flights going up in price, that's why. Anyway, so let's get started. So your energy out for the divine, he's saying walking the lion, and it is the number 19, which is the number 10. Okay, so something is coming to a completion. And walking the lion, we're going to get that energy. This is still the new deck, Oracle of the 7 Energies. I love it. I'm still learning it, slowly but surely. But I love this deck. I probably will use it a lot more. Anyway. So walking the line, regardless of the outer conditions right now, you can't wait for your fear to lessen before you move forward. Boy, isn't that true? In fact, despite the chaos and the seemingly disarray, you must be bold. Whatever your trepidation, act as if you have deep trust that all will be well. And it will be well. I'll tell you that right now. No matter what, it will be well. Nothing is promised to you, but you will never truly see magic if you don't take the risk. I don't believe in magic. You won't see the miracle, or there will be a miracle. If you want to call it Disney magic. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. but it's a miracle. And leap into the unknown. You have no guarantee of immediate success. Still, you must summon your bravery in the face of possible pain, failure, or even success, and own your power. The act of making this leap, no matter the final outcome, awakens the lion within. Be proud of who you are and who you are becoming. No one can take this away from you. I tell you that all the time, guys. I tell you that all the time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love this. You know, I'm going to tell you right now, I've been having downloads. I'm going to do a video this afternoon on a download I had, because it is so important. This world is getting so ugly. It is getting so ugly, so angry, so bitter, but that doesn't mean you have to. Again, we manifest what we are and who we want to be. So if you want love, you're going to have to be love. If you want kindness, you be kindness. And when shit hits the fan, I'm sorry, on these social medias and people start getting mean and starting to say things, you turn around and you keep shining with kindness and love. And let me tell you, people will be following you in a different manner. And I'm going to share that download with you later this afternoon. And when I was laughing earlier, because something's coming to an end. So this bitterness, this anger, whatever, needs to stop. So you have to be your authentic you no matter what. Okay? Because I really think it's important that you really be yourself and that you understand that. Because nothing is promised to you, but you will never truly see the miracle if you don't take the risk. So the more that you show love and kindness, the divine is just going to be elated. No matter how ugly it gets, you just keep shining. If you're your worst enemy, you don't have to see them. Just back away, but still be kind, be respectful and whatever, even if they're not, because this is going to get worse. We're in a spiritual battle. We're in a spiritual warfare is what we're in right now. And it's going to be really, really challenging for so many people to hold on to that loving side of themselves. Okay. And I was laughing because I said, you know how you can connect with divine, and there are ways to connect and hear his voice or connect through intuition. And this is the card that dropped: prayer, 100%. Prayer, meditation. Number 5, it's not comfortable for somebody. It's not stable for somebody. It's hot in here. Sorry. We've got 90-degree weather here all week. And it's probably nothing to some of you guys. Well, we got 110, 120. Yeah. For Oregon, 90 is hot. But this, and here again, they want to use this magic word, but the magic is the miracle of prayer, of all the things that it can open, the doors that it can open, and the things when you release that you can hear. So definitely we'll be talking on a download on that as well. Been getting a couple of downloads lately. So the thing is that we really, really want to be open to opening that door to kindness, really praying hard through the day for that. It's even uncomfortable. You don't have to talk out loud. You do your prayers in your head. Just say, you know what? He's really pissing me off, or she's really ticking me off. She's hitting my button. And you just really need to calm it down inside. This is an internal calmness. Okay. So then we have the future energies. This is your current energy, guys. This is to open the door to that second realm where the divine is, to open the door, okay? So then we have the wide open, okay, which is, it's your choice. Everything is wide open to what you want to do. You can choose your shadow side, your darker side, and come out and say a lot of bad words and start getting mean and start getting things that are not in the divine's eyes. Or you can choose to really control yourself, because the number 6 is about your improvement and your harmony. Okay, so to improve yourself, to become more calm in any storm, it is a challenge for a lot of people. Definitely a challenge for a lot of people. A lot of people just, instead of honing it in, analyzing what's going on, sort of like the hermit and the Virgo energy, analyzing what's going on, they just immediately don't think, they speak before they think. So this is something that is challenging to someone out there, definitely in Sagittarians, and that you definitely want to be able to hone in that energy of control, self-discipline. Okay. It's hard to, do, but once you practice it and are consistently practicing it, it definitely is going to happen. All right. So, yeah, we do need to acknowledge this. Definitely. There's the number 3. 3 of Wands is coming up here. Somebody is definitely looking towards the future. They're just sort of watching. They're sort of wondering, waiting. I don't know who this is. This is your first card out. You're sort of like, I wonder where it's going to bring me. I wonder what it's going to do. I wonder where I should go. But the 3 is about acknowledging it. Doesn't mean that you're going to act on it at the moment, because you're thinking before you do, right? Again, your doors are open. You have a wide range of things that you can do. And you can go anywhere. But the idea is to transform. Butterfly in the corner. Transform. It means to transform. And I will say that this current energy for this week, for somebody, if you really take the time in a quiet space, really sit down quietly and clear your mind. The only way to clear your mind is release your burden. And what you do is you just clear your mind and you release that burden, whatever it is, what's heavy on your heart, whatever is going on in your heart, you release it out to divine, to the universe, whatever you want to do, the angelic realm. I would go straight to divine personally, but other people like to go to the angelic realm and other areas first, because that's the way that you roll. First, I go to divine. I want the most wisdom that I can get to come through with my journey. So you do that, but you cannot hear him if you don't release, because your head's too much into what's going on here on earth. So you got to actually be in a quiet place and release everything before you even ask. So because a lot of the times then the human side, the human head will get in it. And you don't want the human side in it, okay? Because we can either hear his voice or we can think we hear his voice. We don't want to think we hear his voice. We want to know. And the reason why we want to keep our head out of it, then we can actually know and confirm it, all right? Ooh, page to page. Calling pages. I've got 2 pages right in the center. This is definitely something new, something sort of a very young person or somebody that is really curious, trying to figure things out, has got too many things either on their plate or too many ideas in their head moving around. Try to clear some of those ideas out. We are looking towards the future, where it's a time this week to start thinking about the future, how we want to roll in the future, how we want to act, how we want to present ourselves, how we want to be remembered. Okay, how do we want to be remembered? Oh, wow, she was a real biatch, kind of thing. Or do you want to be remembered? Wow, she was really kind. She was really gentle. He was kind. He was gentle. He really was balanced. He really sort of knew things, that kind of a thing. How do you want to be remembered? We all work hard. We all look at what we're doing. We're all looking at what we're doing. So the Sagittarians, what are you doing for work? What are you doing in your life? This is something to really wake up. Is it something that brings you positive every day? Is it something that when you go home, you're not always disgruntled, you're not happy? What is it that you're doing in your work process that you could possibly change to keep your joy? Now, you could like your job, but you still have, everybody has bad spots in their job, right? However, this person here needs to learn how to lift themselves up. This is again about your potential and your ambition in your work. Okay, we want to be able to keep our positiveness in our work, really, really happy. Somebody does travel a lot for work. I don't know who that is. Somebody may be or going to be traveling for work. Not quite sure. But there might be travel in for work. Okay. Or you're trying to do too many things. Somebody's over budget. So I feel like somebody is well over budget because they're trying to do too many things. So somebody might have to be working on their budget. Okay. And what happens is you spend too much and you're not making enough. So you're ending yourself in a deficit. So what that is living over your means. So somebody might be having to think about getting in and asking divine, what can I do to either increase this is for your future, to increase my income, or what can I subtract? What can I sacrifice? What can I let go in the meantime while I grow? Because this is somebody who is learning about money. I'm going to say this is a person that is in their probably either 20s or maybe early 30s that didn't learn how to budget. It's not hard. It's not hard at all, but you do have to be consistent with your bookkeeping. You have to be consistent with that. And this is something that maybe you want to do in the future. Well, hello. Welcome, Mariella. That you might want to be traveling in the future. Now's the time to really, really buckle down and find out what you can eliminate, because we've got the page, the Two of Pentacles in the center, and sometimes we have too much that we've got going on, and we're spending our money, and we're not even realizing, even if it's a couple dollars here, a couple dollars here, a couple dollars here, and then before you know it, it's like, oh, I haven't saved anything, and I really would like to travel. Okay. And the thing is, sometimes travel, you might have to put it on a credit card, but if you're overspending, then you won't be able to pay that credit card off. And then your credit goes down, and then you've got a spiral effect of choices and decisions that sort of go down. This reading, I hate to say it, guys, it's all about your future in your career, your finance. It's in, about your money situations, things like that this week. So it's really, really time to learn what you need to do. This is a time with the Hermit card. This is a time. This is a Virgo energy. And this is about analysis. This is time to set everything up. Sit down. I do this every day. Every Saturday is my bill day. But I at least input my receipts and stuff, even if it's on an Excel spreadsheet. That's all I have. Excel for my home. That's all I need. Is I need to know where I'm spending my money and where I can back my money up. So we need to look at what we're spending, why we're spending, how we're spending. Are we spending out of need? Especially if we're in a super, super tight budget for some reason. Maybe COVID really left you stranded, or maybe you're still stranded. You have to really look at buying things of need, not want. I learned this a long time ago when I was homeless. Somebody told me, you're overspending, you're overspending, you're overspending. And I didn't think I was, but it was $1 here, $1 there, or whatever. And the thing I found out was they were right. So I had to turn my thought process around and buy out of need. So the end right now, this is your challenge card, because right now you're not getting all the things you deserve. You're not, as far as financially, right? And it's because of the process. This is your challenge card. You're not getting this 10 of Pentacles, which you deserve and should get. And it is also the number 10, so that can stop. Our original card out is number 10, and the divine is saying we need to get things in order, get things in place. We need to be ready and show the authentic you, that kind of a thing. But this is what the end result is that you can have. And how you can have that is really just analyzing. Super easy. Every time you go to buy something, and if you're on a tight budget, is it, do I need this? Because a lot of times we think, oh, I really like that. But then we don't think, oh, we're spending only a couple of dollars. That couple dollars adds up. Okay. So you just sort of look at it. Oh, do I need this right now? Oh, no, I don't. Put it down. Do I want this, or is this a need? Put it down. Okay. Because this is a really huge, huge lesson for somebody who's young, because maybe they've never been taught that. Maybe even in your 40s. I think before I got it was in my 50s before I stopped sabotaging myself and spending. Actually, it was in my mid 40s, I think, mid to late 40s, because I was spiraling down because I didn't know. And I just didn't want to know. That's sometimes a problem for a lot of people too, is they don't want to know how much they're spending. Okay. But that's not good financing. That's not good financing. And once you turn around and do that, then you'll be able to do this. Then you'll be able to have, more. I hate this credit card game, but you got to have them in order to get your credit scores up. And sometimes when you can't, it took me, I think, the first time to get me out of my debt situation, it took me a long time. It took me like 3 years to go from like a 500 score up to a 600 because I just wasn't getting the game of money. I wish they would teach money in school. I really, really do, because so many people would be so far ahead of the game. But you know why they don't? Because that would be the problem. Everybody would be getting far ahead of the game, and certain people on the top scale don't want you there, and they want to be the rich. Okay, so this is something about your future. This is how you want to do it. Somebody definitely does want to travel. It's very open for you to travel. It's just, how are you going to do it? And when you're going to do that, you have to have a plan. I mean, we just came back from a trip. We're getting ready to go on another trip, but you have to plan that ahead. Okay, and is it wise to do it at this time? Somebody wanting to travel, is it really wise to do it at this time? Maybe if you hold off, you can do a bigger trip and bigger travel, because this is really something to somebody. This is really heavy to somebody. I don't know who this is. Finances are really ahead. I'll tell you one thing: when you get into a relationship and you get to two people, and this person's holy, this person's holy, you really have to talk about finances. Even if you hate it, you have to talk every single aspect, if you're in a relationship, about finances. The reason why? Because the reason for divorce most of the time, or people fighting and arguing, is two things: money and sex. Because they're not on the same page. They don't understand. They're not working for the same goal. You have to work for the same goal, okay? You both have to be on the same page. If you're in a relationship, if you're not, this is a time to sit down and really talk about your financial future, what you want to do, where you want to go, how much you want to save, okay? What are you planning for? You have to plan for something. If you're single, or if you are in a relationship, you have to plan for something. You need some reward in life. So I want to plan. I want a new bed. I really have never had a new bed. I want this bed. I've seen it. Now I'm going to save for it. Saving is hard for a lot of people, because even it's like, well, yeah, I'm just making it from day to day. Been there, done that. It's really hard. But even if you put your change in a jar, or your cans, oh my goodness, guys, cans. I'm telling you, I don't know what state you guys are in, but I'm in Oregon, and my daughter and I thought of this entrepreneur thing that I might really see if it's got a potential, because the thing is, some people don't want to collect cans. They don't want to, they'll be throwing their cans in the garbage, and that's 10 cents every time you throw a can in the garbage, right? I'll tell you right now, on my last trip, I had collected, somebody didn't want their cans. I said, just bring them to me. Just bring them to me. And then, yeah, but what are you going to do with them? I said, just bring me your cans. You want to just throw them in the garbage, you bring me your cans. And this was in like probably not even 4 months. They brought me their cans. I'd go and turn them in, I had over $300 in cans. And that was my spending money for my trip, part of my spending money for my trip. So why not? Super easy to do. And people, people don't want to deal with it, especially people that have money. They don't want to deal with going to the can place. So ask, hey, do you throw your cans away? If you do, can I have them? $300 in just a few months. It's crazy, 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 crazy. So definitely have to nurture yourself through this process, because money is really, really hard. Nobody likes to go through it. Some people are crying about it. Some people are angry about it. Some people are bitter about it. Some people steal about it. This is the thing that is really stressful. In our neighborhood, we had 6 cars stolen over the weekend. So these are things, money is a huge, huge thing, as we all know. However, it can be brought into balance. And it does take a little time. That all you have to do is, how much money is coming in. Super easy, guys. I have an Excel spreadsheet. I have what money is coming in. So if I get a paycheck every 2 weeks, I write it in, and then I calculate the total at the bottom of the month, and my bills that I have. I even do a spreadsheet. I do food and miscellaneous, and the dog. I've got a rabbit now. Rabbit and fuel for my car and stuff like that. Maybe I'm going over budget on my fuel. Maybe I'm driving around too much, or maybe I'm spending too much on food or things like that. Super easy. Then you just do your expensive, and then at the end of the month you say, okay, I made $3,000-4,000 this month, and I spent 4,500. Oh gosh, I spent $500 over. So you know what? You're not getting these things because you're in the deficit every month. This is how people determine whether to keep their businesses open or close their businesses. Definitely, they figure things out in that manner. What they're going to do, should they close? Sadly, companies are closing. You look at even big companies like Disney, they're closing stores all over the place. I think they're closing like 15 stores right now, just because they have to consolidate to make sure that whatever they're doing will survive. You have to survive. But not only do you have to survive, you have to live. You have to be yourself. You've got wide open choices, wide open things that you can be doing. All right. I don't want to hound you on that, but some people just don't know because they don't educate you in school about that. And my mom, here's a checkbook. I'm old school. Here's a checkbook. Okay, oh, wow, I can write money. I can write money all over the place. Back when checks were a big thing, it's like, oh, cool. Do I have money in the bank? Well, I don't know, but let's write this check, blah, blah, blah. A lot of bounce checks back then, right? But the thing is, you're given a register. It tells you how much money you're spending, but it doesn't tell you how much is coming in. And if you're over or under, those are kind of things that you have to know. All right. All right. Oh, I don't want to use those cards. What do I want to use, guys? What do I want to use? My daughter thinks these are so funny. This deck here. I love this deck. People do the best that they can do with what they have. This is an African deck here. And it's very photoshopped. It's very photoshopped. But it's, they did the best what they could, what they have, and you got to support people that are using their talents with what they have. They're not saying, well, I don't have anything to do it. How can I do it? I don't have anything to do it. Definitely. Yeah. So somebody's Five of Swords, we got somebody's ego in the way. Now, some people are like, well, I'm not going to do that. Why should I do that? Because this successful people have a plan, have a goal, and have a mark that they want to hit. If you want to travel, and if you want to get to this part, you've got to have a goal and a plan on what you're going to hit. So you guys that are younger, you call them goals. Us guys that are older, we call it bucket list because we want to do it before we die. And our time is shorter, mostly from you than you guys. But somebody's ego is getting in the way. I do see a couple maybe fighting about money. Definitely fighting about money. One is not on the same page as another person. And it's like, well, you know what? I'm going to do this. Oh, man, I hope this is not this couple. Again, Pentacles. This is definitely about money. The Seven of Pentacles again. About hardworking. So here's what I'm getting from an energy from somebody. There is a couple out there. I don't know who this is. I would say that this couple is not on the same page. And the reason why I say that, I hear I and me in my head. I hear I and me. It doesn't work if it's I and me. It has to be we. So you can have a little bit of your money, pocket change, and they have a little bit of their pocket change, but this we money to pay the bills, to plan the goal, to work forward, to be both who you want to be. That's why you have your both little money. I'm a horse person, and I'm sure my spouse would not want to pay for all my horse things that I buy for my horse. So yeah, I have a little bit of money, but I got to stay within my budget. And if I go over that, not my fault. I can't go to him and say, well, I overspent. I bought a saddle that was worth blah, blah, blah. And I only had blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, that's your problem. We're working on, well, can I take some from savings? No, because we're working on getting ready to go to Bora Bora. We're getting ready to go to Australia or New Zealand. You cannot take from the savings from that. So this, again, is an issue between a couple on the wrong page. One's an overspender, one's an underspender, one's a saver. That overspender really has to learn the lessons from the saver. Really, that is where the lesson really needs to come, because this is not only about money. This is about self-control. This is about discipline. Okay? So somebody has to get in discipline. This is also what Divine is saying. Discipline yourself not to speak words, mean words, active words that are going to be harmful to somebody or detrimental or destructive to somebody before you think. Think before you do. Think before you say. Think before you buy. Think before you spend. Think before you, that's what the divine is saying right now. Okay, somebody's going to have to pray for this one. And trust me, I was there. I was there. I don't say anything or do anything that I probably haven't been through. I had to be there. I was like, I was weak. What do you mean I have to buy out of need? Really, I don't want to. I had such an internal spiritual struggle. It was so freaking hard. So freaking hard, but you can do it. You can do it. And let me tell you, when I did it, I wasn't surviving anymore. I'm living. So, and sometimes we have to correct ourselves. Sometimes you'll get into that phase where you're going to be spending more than what you're doing. Oh, crap, I'm in that mode again. So you got to go back to square one and say, buying out of need. Okay, this is going to hurt for a little while, a month or two. Or, hey, if you got cans, I'll take your cans. Let me tell you, big garbage bag, or was it like one of those yard bags, leaf bags? I pulled one into the recycle center, and I'm telling you, that bag was almost $25. And they weren't my cans; they were somebody else's cans. They're off $25. Now, here's the clincher of this: that person who brings the cans is hurting just as bad, but they're so lazy they won't take them or prideful. They won't take them to the can center. Pride. This fighting is going on because of pride and ego. And so, you know what? They lose out, and then they complain they don't have money. Sorry. Take them. You don't have to bring them to me. You can take them to the center and make money yourself. Okay? That is pride. Okay? And so when you work at new ideas, new things to bring your income up, and your future up for your income, your hard work is going to pay off 100%. And I'm not even telling you this on a tarot level. This is what Divine's sharing with you. But I'm telling you from a person who has been homeless twice. And the first time I was homeless, I went from homeless to business owner in 1 year. Takes work. But you can do it. If I can do it, let me tell you, anybody can do it. It's just discipline, and having perseverance through it. All right. I'm going to do a real quick love because we're at 32 minutes. I'm going to do a real quick love and see what's going on. Hopefully it's not this fighting couple, but somebody is definitely arguing about money. Got to get on the same page if you are a couple and you're fighting about money. And you know what? I hate to say this. I don't know who the person is overspending, but you have to listen to the person who's saving, because they're just trying to help you as a couple to get where you want to go. All right. And meet your goals. Maybe they're fighting really hard, don't make as much money as the other person, and they're fighting really hard to make this goal happen. Go to Australia, Europe, New Zealand, whatever. I'm telling you places I want to go. I don't want to go to Europe. I just don't. Sorry, that's just not me. I'm South Pacific, tropical. I'm a scuba diver, so I like that kind of stuff. So for a couple, yeah. What am I telling you guys? What's that first word? Metal King under. What is it? Discipline. Armor. Boundaries. So for this couple, boundaries have to be set. Okay, it is the number 10 too. 10 also, okay. Number 10. I can't make this up. If you set up your disciplines, your boundaries, you really make, know what you're supposed to be doing. I can't make this up. I really can't. Okay. A time for healing. Yeah. Okay. I just heard this. So when it's talking about time for healing, when it comes to discipline, when it comes to any kind of discipline, whether it be money, whether it be overeating, over drinking, maybe it's overspending, that kind of a thing, it's a time for healing. And that is 100%. And that's what the divine is saying, is to be yourself, you have to heal. So when we do something over, what do they call that? You got to do things in moderation, but when you do it in overabundance or over too much, you're trying to fill a hole or something that is a little bit broken. I know a gentleman that he's got 2 garage fulls of shoes and he doesn't wear any of them. He just has an addiction to buying shoes. And I said, what do you do with all those? And he's like, they just sit in the, they're classics. And I'm like, that's an issue, there's something going on there. And he even admitted, yeah, I have an addiction to buying shoes. He also has addiction to Starbucks. And he doesn't really like Starbucks that well, but he constantly buys Starbucks. And I won't tell you how much he spends a day. And I'm like calculating it. And I'm like, holy crap, I could use that money in my pocket. But the shoes, and these shoes are not cheap. So it's he's got something he needs to heal from to stop that. There's something that is incomplete or broken, maybe a trauma, which I know there is trauma there for him, and I can see it all the way back to that happening, but he can't, and he doesn't want to heal from it. He just wants to keep buying, buying, buying. Thing is, he can afford it, but he's got 2 garages full in 2 kids' garages, and it's like, dude, maybe they would like their garages, kind of a thing. So to have discipline, you have to heal. So whoever that is for, all right? This is not only for your relationships to get discipline back, definitely your boundaries, having a high standard, high boundary, not too high or you're expecting perfect. There's no way that somebody's going to be perfect. However, you want to set a standard and a boundary that you can meet, that you can be disciplined in, that is high integrity, high values, and high morals. All right. And that's for both of you. And you both need to come on the same page. One could have really high integrity and the other one's, like I would never steal and this one steals. This is not going to work. It's not going to work. So we have to get on the same page with our discipline and our boundaries. And that's hard. That is really, really hard for somebody. And that definitely this week is going to take a lot of prayer. So whatever you're doing this week in regards to discipline and your boundaries and becoming your authentic you and staying strong, especially thinking before you speak, act, whatever, because this world is going to get uglier and uglier. And you have to stay in and shine and keep the light and keep moving forward, not only for yourself, but for others that are watching you and saying, how do you stay so calm when they're so mean to you? Because I have divine. I have the power within me to be disciplined enough to do that. All right. So that's your reading, Sagittarius. Hopefully this was resonated with somebody. We all have money issues. Everybody has money issues, whether you have too much of it or too little of it. We all have it. However, you don't want to be in a place where you're just surviving. You got to find a way for yourself. If you don't have a clue how to do this, email me, please. Email me. I'm a coach, so email me because it is really important to get yourself on the track at an early start so that you don't have repercussions later, and get yourself on track so you can love life and live life and not just survive life. This is all about your financial future, your career, your success. And the other thing, last thing I'm going to say is make sure that whatever you're doing for money in your career, that you enjoy it and you love it, because then it's not a job. It's not a career. It's just a passion. All right. I hope that helps for you guys. All right. I don't have any other announcements right today because I haven't really looked at the new moon, the full moon. I don't even know what's going on up in the sky right now. So I will definitely have to look at it this week. But I hope you guys have a great, great week. And please watch for videos. If you haven't subscribed, I am going to have some uploads today. I am just about done. I'm on section 3 of picking up the pieces, and that should be up by the end of the week. Very transparent. I'm really hesitant to put it up because it is my story on sexual abuse, and but it is about surviving, healing, and living with sexual abuse. So hopefully that will help somebody, and they share it with somebody who maybe needs to hear it as well. All right, so I will talk to you next week. Please don't forget to like, smash, and share with your friends if you think this is going to help someone. And then we will see you again. And subscribe and hit the bell. Talk to you next week. Walk in absolute love and truth.